I've been a very naughty boy. Can't wait to see what you look like, my precious. Oh, I bet you're just horrible. Oh God, no. Oh God, it's horrible. Oh God, oh, it's horrible. I'll be good. I'll be good. Wake up, sleepyheads. I'm the Sandman.
And I'm Scarecrow.
And we're R-rated. Thanks for joining us on Keeping It Real as we continue our countdown to 13 weeks to Halloween. On today's episode, The Picture of Dorian Gray.
So let's get right into it. Alright, like he said, today we're going to be reviewing The Picture of Dorian Gray, which is a movie about a boy who doesn't want to lose his youth. So he makes a wish. I guess it's a wish. He sells his soul.
Yeah, even though he doesn't show, but it's kind of like he sells his soul. And his soul's captured in a painting instead of his body. So the painting age, he never ages.
Yeah. So as the video progresses, this painting of him, which was beautiful and the best painting that Basil had painted, has started to decay and kind of.
Yeah, not just in age, but every sin, every mortal sin that he does, it'll reflect on the painting.
Yeah, like he commits some crimes later that you see like blood and everything. Yeah. But he's gone through and done like he said, horrendous crimes, slept with men's wives. Murder. It doesn't show any of this.
Yeah.
They decided to show just how heartless he was. In this video, they tried to make him seem cold and sinister, like me you talked about, and it gets to a point to where you can tell he has no soul, to where there's no loyalty at all. Him and Basil, one of his best friends, spoiler alert, he kills him, which I think, no, it's not the only death we see in the movie.
There's a couple more.
Yeah. I think
there's a couple that we're aware of. Like,
there's a total of like 4 deaths in this movie.
Yeah, and one we don't even see, but we learn about it, and that's the one that kind of sends him over the edge, and that's where he does it, and the picture starts decaying with all this. It spans, like, it skips, I think, 18 years.
Yeah.
And he still looks immaculate. I mean, he's like the Adonis, and he still looks perfect and everything. His youth, and everybody talks about it and starts to shun him away, but the pain, he keeps hidden away. No one sees it.
Yeah.
Keeps locked away. It's just horrific.
Yeah, like I was expecting the painting to look slightly different, but there's so much going on, like you said, in the painting. After these 18 years have passed, he looks like he's got some kind of disease. All this stuff's on in the background, like what I imagine what people thought hell looked like back then.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
And they actually colored the painting in some scenes.
A couple things. Yeah, it is a black and white film. It's from 1945.
45, yeah.
It's MGM. It's not Universal. We've been doing the classic Universal series, but this is MGM. We did one from, was it Paramount?
Yeah, we did Paramount. We've done Universal.
Yeah.
This is our first.
This is the only one from MGM, and it's the worst one by far.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I hated this worse than The Mummy.
Yeah.
Which I had some enjoyment at The Mummy. I had no enjoyment at this.
None.
This was an hour and 45 minutes. Like we said, it's one of the newer movies we've seen. Well, which one was the? I mean, it don't really matter.
Creature from Black Lagoon.
Creatures from 1950, and it was much better. Thankfully so. This was like a weird transition between Wolfman and Creature, and it just fell flat.
Yeah, it was just. I don't know if it's MGM that did it. It was an hour and 45 minutes long, which is a long movie. I mean, 40 days is a longer movie.
It felt every hour and 45 minutes.
The only good parts about it was that, the actor who played Henry. I don't know who he was, but I guess he's pretty popular. He was great. You had Donna Reed from It's a Wonderful Life. She was in it. I thought that was great.
Yeah, and the actresses are the only ones that you noticed.
Yeah, the one too who played in Murder, She Wrote, whose name I cannot remember. I never watched it, but she was young in it. That's the highlights of the whole movie. Yeah,
it truly was. Oh, I forgot about her dying. So yeah, there was 5 deaths.
That's what I'm talking about. That we don't see, that we just learn about.
Yeah, there was 5 deaths. Yeah, including at the end of it, Dorian dies.
Yeah.
From what was it, leprosy or something, and like to me, they cut out the important stuff and kept the stuff they could cut out. To me,
the thing about the book that made the book like when I read it, that made it so great was, like I said, there's not a lot happening. There's a few murders, a few deaths. There's not a lot happens, but you do learn more detail when he visits these places of, you know, they're bad places like brothels and stuff like that. But the whole highlight of the book is the dialogue. I've never seen, and I still have not seen a book written the way this is with the dialogue. The Henry, he would go to party after party after party, and he's so immoral. He talks about, like, you know, desire of the flesh, and he just talks about, like, he just lets everything out, and you just listen to him. It's like paragraph after paragraph after paragraph in the page of him just talking, and that's the whole thing that made the book great. It's so different, and I didn't agree with all of his outlooks, but it made the book very enjoyable to me. But on this here, he just does like maybe once or twice. It's very brief, and then the rest of it is just nothing.
Yeah, like, do you see yourself watching this movie
again? Never.
Most of these movies we've reviewed, you watch every year. With this one, I'll never see myself watching it again.
And I've watched. I think, is this the third Dorian Gray film I've watched? I watched the one with the guy from the Narnia thing, Prince Caspian. And I thought it sucked also. My cousin, Retro, he enjoyed it, and I don't know why. Yeah. There's nothing good about it.
So I say this is probably a perfect time for a fun fact. Take it away.
Fun fact. The final painting of Dorian Gray, Decaying, took about 1 year to paint and now hangs in a museum. The blocks under the table of Dorian's schoolroom have the initial of all the people who have died.
Pooh Bear. Is there anything there you can bother?
Not really.
He's trying to get in the real room.
I was trying to think he was going to step on the keyboard, and that might pause it.
I know he's trying to get into that. So just want to continue with it?
Get ready whenever you are.
Alright.
And that truly was a fun fact, brought to you by your friends at R-Rated. So picking up where we left off, I can't see myself. This was so bad, I can't see myself going and watching any more Dorian Grays.
Well, like I spoke about, the Dorian Gray character who played the actor who played Dorian Gray in the Penny Dreadful series was perfect. I would love to see a new modern Dorian Gray with Gray with him as an actor in it. Because he was perfect for the role.
Like,
he had the smug look and everything. He was young and he was just perfect for the role.
To me, it wasn't just the actor, but like the story itself. Like, I would like to see a movie of the stuff they cut out. Like you said, the narrations from Henry. Oh, this is our first narrated film.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It actually is. Yeah, you do have I think it's Henry the one who's narrating.
Really, it
didn't sound like it, but I think it was him.
So maybe.
But even if they did have it, I mean, you wouldn't want to sit and watch a film of a guy sitting at a table.
No.
Talking philosophy in a movie.
But like, I felt like her brother should have had a bigger part. All of his friends. First of all, one of his friends, the one that like.
Two of them. The one who hipped him that got blackmailed, and the one sitting at the pub.
Yeah, that one. That's the one I want to see.
Yeah, he would have had more
some sass to him.
I mean, if you went just by the book wouldn't focus into a good movie. I mean, I think you would need to add, better aspects, because even in the book, it never, it does appear that he's supernatural. Like he's in fear for his life in the book against the brother. He thinks he can be stabbed and killed or shot and killed.
Yeah.
I think it would be better if he found out that, oh God, I can be stabbed and shot, and he just shows up on the painting. Doesn't affect me, and then make a movie of that where he goes out and does stuff like he gets in fights. You're not going to hurt me. And gets stabbed for cheating at cards and all this and all that, and doesn't get hurt. And then the only way he can get hurt, like is in the Penny Dreadful. I mean, the guy gets stabbed and shot and everything, and he cannot be hurt until you hurt the portrait, which I think they would do a good movie if they went with that.
Yeah, that would way. Be. Yeah, you hardly ever see the painting. Like, maybe three times.
Well, in the Penny Dreadfuls you don't. In the 2010 or whatever it was version, you only see it like once or twice. In the Penny Dreadful is the best painting ever. I mean, he's like a guy. He's white and he's like hunkled over and he's bald and he's wrinkled and he's in chains. He's more of a beast. And then it actually moves once and it's like Dorian himself actually jumps back. Like him.
Yeah. Overall, I dislike this movie, and the fact that it's from MGM, who's such a big studio now.
Yeah,
it's kind of.
I guess they weren't good back in those days.
Yeah.
I think maybe. I don't think they were trying to capitalize because it'd been what 20 years since Dracula and all those were released. 10 years. No, actually, about 4 years after the Wolfman. They did it nothing like. They added more time to it. We didn't have the beautiful sceneries. It was all.
Yeah, it was all inside.
Yeah, it didn't. The inside of the houses were nice houses, mansions, but no beautiful scenes in it.
There was a couple times we did see outside, but there was a wall. Like a couple walls been held up by stilts.
Yeah. And nothing aesthetically pleasing.
No.
Even the actor himself, we spoke about. I don't see why. Not because he's expressionless, because that was actually there's some tidbits about that. Yeah, but just because looking at him, I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, if this guy takes my woman, that bitch can go, because he's not a good looker. He's like, to me, the guy who plays in Penny Dreadful. I'm like, this is a guy. I wouldn't mind looking like him. He takes my woman. He'd take your woman also. He's got the looks and the boyish charm. He's got the charisma. The little smirky smile. This guy just looks like like a dead man walking.
Yeah, and 90% of the actors in this were male, but the two female we see, or a few female we see, there was no character to them.
No,
it was just Dorian.
There to move the story, but it's the same way in the actual book. Like the Vane, I can't remember her first name. I always remember her name is Vane. Like that. She dies. She's in it very briefly. She dies early on because this whole process is him doing this, and this.
Yeah.
The main character, Dorian isn't even the main character in the book. If you ask me, it's Lord Henry.
Oh yeah. I can see that.
The main thing is his philosophy. I mean, it's like Oscar Wilde is preaching his views, his philosophy through Sir Henry. I mean, that's the whole book to me, and that's the only thing I enjoyed about it.
So guys, if you think about watching this movie, don't. I just got terrible acting. The sceneries aren't good. The plot isn't that good. It is an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah,
so
way too long. I mean, if it was an hour and 10 minutes like the Universals, I could see probably doing it. If they use some of the matte, paintings in the background, that would at least give me something to look at.
Yeah.
There's just no reason to watch this movie.
If you have an hour and 45 minutes to kill, go watch Overkill 150 times.
There you go. 150 times.
I didn't do the
math. Just go watch that. Watch this review.
Yeah.
Whatever. We don't know how long it's going to be, but 4, 5, 6 times, whatever. Give us some love instead of giving this horrible movie some love.
But guys, I think this is going to be a great place to go ahead and start in the video. If you like it, please like and subscribe. If you like Dorian Gray, we apologize. It's just our opinion.
What was your rating on it? I mean, we know it's horrible.
2 out of 10.
You gave it a 2?
I gave it a 2.
So there's one that you're going to actually like worse than that. If we're going to, I cannot
quite
see
possible.
myself liking what?
I was quite possible. I don't know. It might go down.
Hell.
But now it's a 2.
We only have Nosferatu left.
Oh, true. I give it a 0.5.
Yeah, I mean Nosferatu. I mean, I haven't watched it in years, but it's so much better than anything.
Can I rate something a 0?
You could it be it?
I'm gonna have to be 0.
I mean, I'm giving it a nightmare, but
because there is nothing at all I enjoy.
Nothing. Like I said, the highlights is Sir Henry. Very briefly.
Henry and the sassy friend.
The friend, and seeing Donna Reed from It's a Wonderful Life, and God, I cannot think for her name from Murder, She Wrote. I mean, that's it. That's not worth any. That's not worth 5 minutes of your time.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a 0 out of 10.
I've
0 crows out of 10.
I give it a horrific, hell bent, whatever the heck nightmare.
So guys, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Comment down below. Chat with us, because we love chatting with each other. We try to reply to all of our comments.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
Yeah, all 3 of them. But guys, like always, this is keeping it real. So let's keep it real.
See you in your dreams.